Head of Customer Engagement, and I'll be your host for today. We're honored to have with us today Costa Flokas, who's the head of Product Management Group, and actually he's the creator of those plans. Costa, good evening. How are you? Thank you for
Hi,
joining.
everybody. Thank you for joining on my behalf as well. It's always a great honor and pleasure to have you on board. Today, we're going to discuss what we believe to be the ultimate differentiator in what we offer as a product or a service, our premium support plans. If you remember, last time we talked in our Athens event, I mentioned that it is our job to basically achieve three things: either to make money for you, save you money, or help you gain a competitive advantage if possible, all three at the same time. Well, today's session and our support plans obviously attempt to cover all those three key areas. So without any further ado, thank you, Pelagia, for introducing me. These are nice little pictures, just so that you have a nice pretty face next to the name. And I'd like to start off with a great quote from Maya Angelou. Is a Greek one as well. The well-known author and poet very rightfully once said that people may forget what you said, but they will never forget how you make them feel. Simply because that's how our brains are wired to work. As a matter of fact, if you take an event and connect it to an emotion, it burns in your memory and you can remember it forever. Of course, rumors would say that this is why women, being more emotional than men, tend to remember everything. Can be the focus of another session. So let's not really digress here in those 30 minutes that we have all in all. So to begin, let's talk coffee a little bit. Everybody likes coffee. The coffee grower in Brazil harvests his field, packs his raw green coffee beans to a sack of 25 kilos, and sells each one of them for an average price of €3 per kilo. Here comes another company, buys those beans, roasts them, grinds them, packs them to individual packages of 250 grams, and they sell each one of those 250-gram packs for $6, for €6 each. Then here comes another company, your local coffee shop, buys those packs, boils just a teaspoon of the ground coffee, serves it to you, and charges you an average of approximately €1 to €3 per cup. And yes, there is another company who also does the same thing, serves you the same cup of coffee, but manages to charge you €4 to €6 for it, while of course having hordes of people that are loyal, regular customers that wouldn't have it any other way. So the question really becomes, which part in that chain contributed the most in the customer's perceived value in the experience of consuming a cup of coffee? Now, obviously, some may argue that it was Starbucks' ability, to stage a special customer experience, be it the ambience, the smells, the service, the many different customizable coffee choices they can get, the free Wi-Fi, whatever, including, of course, the actual quality of the drink, all contributing factors in delivering a truly unique experience. Hence, Starbucks managed to successfully differentiate itself from the competition, conquer its very own territory in the coffee shop arena, and ultimately not only charge a hefty premium for coffee, but gain a big loyal base of repeat customers. Now then, Starbucks is not the only company, as a matter of fact, that has managed such an achievement. If we step a little bit back, and or a lot actually, we see that as Western civilization economies emerged from agricultural economies to the Industrial Revolution era, leading to the birth of the service economies in the later half of the 20th century. So have many companies adjusted to shifting their focus with respect to how they choose to compete. Differentiation has allowed them to make a safe transition to experience economies, now prevalent all around us. In experience economies, customers do not simply consume your product or service, they live it. They live it in the sense that it is now, more than ever, more important to focus on the total experience the customer receives, as this is the experience they feel. It is the very experience that will create the emotions necessary to turn them into loyal and happy customers, or not, of course. Yet, if this transitional paradigm of economies mentioned before explains the history so far, what lies ahead? What will be the next era's defining characteristic of competition? As we speak, the next transition wave is already in the works. Service economies are fast becoming transformation economies. To better understand, what, transformation economies call for, let's consider a prime transformation economy example, the university. The university works with you, you being the customer, the student, into transforming you into something better, something more advanced that you were before attending. When you graduate, you're arguably a better person, more educated, more able to perform in your area of expertise in a knowledgeable, efficient way, far better that you'd be able to without the degree. So, all in all, the challenge, becomes working together and becoming better together. So, where do experience economies focused, on the individual, the personal experience, the I, as we say, transformation economies focus on the whole, the we, the guide, and they guide and coach customers into becoming more efficient and more productive. In transformation economies, the single most important challenge for IT companies is to master nothing else than offering and providing superior customer service. Customer service that will make customers feel that they're not alone, that their coach, their service provider is always there 24/7, 365 to assist and protect them, whenever necessary to overcome obstacles, to guide them into becoming more efficient with no or minimal interruptions in, of course, ever increasing productivity. Now then, to enable you in creating this ultimate we feeling, to your customers, interworks cloud has created two support plans that give you the coverage you asked for. Let me go off on a personal tangent here for a minute, and thank you, all of you who over the past 2 months spent considerable time discussing with me the features you need and the challenges you face in supporting your end customers. Everyone's input, of course, was of immense value to us, as were your kind words in recognizing Interworks Cloud's support department's efforts and overall performance. My father, used to say that recognition is the ultimate gift we can give to our fellow humans. We're truly honored and grateful, to you for your honest and kind recognition of this. Rest assured that all the people who I'm privileged to work with here at Interworks Cloud took these words not as an opportunity to rest, in their laurels, but to try harder and even better in doing so in the future. Now, as we said, there are two new premium support plans, one for partners and one for customers. Their main difference is that partner support plans allow you, the partner, to open a ticket on behalf of your customers, whereas the customer support plan obviously allows the customers to directly open a ticket, and contact us without your intervention. Meanwhile, of course, you can keep on focusing doing, other tasks. These support plans, of course, cover all cloud catalog products that we provide, infrastructure as a service, software as a service, what have you. It's, of course, incident that they, may happen, can be characterized as critical, major, or minor. Following a ticket submission, each plan has a different SLA, a different service level agreement for responding to the ticket, not resolving it. We'll get back to that in a little bit. While you see the difference in response times, remember that there is a money back guarantee that we offer. For every ticket SLA we miss, partners or consumers receive a credit of 20 euros. Okay, so for instance, you see that as a matter of fact, I put in the first column, what you get, for free. Any partner or any customer who buys a product of Interworks Cloud is entitled to receive a basic free support. Remember, we're focusing today on the last two columns. So for instance, for critical issues, whereas of course you're always available, to contact us. If you don't have a premium support plan, then we'll do our best, of course, to respond to it. Whereas if you do have a premium support plan, we're obligated, to respond in 30 minutes or less. Major issues, same kind of thing. You can contact us, between 9 and 5 o'clock in the free version, in the free plan, and we're obligated to, of course, get back to you under a business day. Whereas if you have a support plan, same hours, major issues, in this case, we're obligated to respond within an hour. For minor issues, Whereas in the free version, we get 2 business days to respond to your issue. If you have a premium support plan, we must, get back to you under 4 hours and let you know that we're on top of it and we're already working on it. Now, another defining characteristic is that, should your ticket require that we contact the vendor, whether Microsoft or anybody else, any software or hardware vendor, from which that needs to get involved to resolve your ticket. If you have a free support plan, then this opportunity is not, possible. We don't have access to it. Whereas if you have a premium support plan, then yes, we can immediately escalate it to the vendor if it's, so required. And of course, in the hopes that we're going to get a faster response back from the vendor itself. Now, some people I wonder what constitutes a critical issue, a major or a minor. I just, put this here just, to put some basis. Critical issues, of course, when, customer's business has significant loss or degradation of services, we need to get immediate, action, going to, try to resolve it, in other words, start working on it, immediately. A major issue is, of course, there's moderate loss of or degradation of services, but work can reasonably continue, of course, in an impaired manner. A minor issue is something that is when the business is functioning with minor impediments of services. It's not something that needs to get, of course, resolved immediately. Okay. Furthermore, we see that if you have a premium support plan, you can get notified on the progress of its ticket via SMS, something that you don't get if you have a free basic, support. Also, you have access to a dashboard where you can see your ticket's response SLA. How is it progressing? You can see the progress, and you can also see, how soon, how much time remains until, we respond, of course, to your ticket. And as far as means of communication, which is something that is, most important, whereas in the free version, you can only, you can only contact us, through our support portal or via email. Besides those two options, if you have a premium support plan, you can call us, or pretty soon, well, we're going to enable the chat version of as means of communication. And a nice little extra, because after talking to you, as I mentioned a little while ago, a lot of you requested that, hey, guys, we're paying you a support plan. It'd be nice if you just had some sort of counseling if needed, some sort of professional services in the terms of we're building a solution, we're not sure what's the best way to go about it. So what we did is, if you buy the annual plan, whether you're a partner or you're a customer, we throw in 8 hours of counseling support, of course, by your top, tier 2 system engineers, should you need it. Okay. Last but not least, of course, whereas the free plan is, hey, free. The partner premium plan, of course, is it comes in two versions. It comes in the monthly, 120 euros per month, or 1,000 euros per year. The same thing for the customer premium support plans is 100 euros per month or 900 per year. And of course, in the customer premium support plans, you earn 15% reseller margin. Now, if somebody doesn't want, if a partner doesn't want to have, to commit to a monthly prepaid, plan with a minimum duration of 3 months, of course, they can buy a single ticket for 280 euros, 280 euros, or a 5-pack tickets, for 1,000 euros per year. So he pays 1,000, he gets 5 incidents, and, all this, within a year. That's basically the defining characteristics of those plans. Of course, you're going to have a chance. We're going to send you out this, presentation. You can find the same information in our marketplace. So don't feel bad if you missed something. I just want to reiterate and remind you the different ways that you have to contact us. You can either send us an email to support@interworks.cloud. You can visit our portal at support.interworks.cloud. The support, the phone, if you need to reach support, is country code 30231-069-2445. Of course, we have a support knowledge base always available at kb.interworks.cloud, and of course, the chat version that I mentioned pretty soon. We're going to follow up with some more information on that. There is actually a how-to as well. I'm not going to, read this out loud. We're going to communicate this as well, so don't feel free, don't feel obligated that you need to remember all that. We're going to follow up uh, with all this information. Now, you know, as I said in the beginning, we're here to do three things for you. Make money, save you money or time and differentiate yourself. I would try to show you, first of all, with these plans, if you sell customer support plans, you earn 15%. Obviously, you save time, with your customer support, plans. They can contact, us, your customers can contact us directly. And of course, you can focus, as I said, on other tasks. And of course, all this discussion is all about differentiating yourself by offering, truly unparalleled support. And as I said, this is something that we've earned. This is something that you recognize, and we're very grateful to you. But at the end of the day, if we are to compete, in this new era of transformation economies that we mentioned, customer service is the ultimate differentiator. I come from a family, although I never really, followed that path. My family was very involved with, haute couture, with high fashion, women's dresses, and of course, I happened to come across a quote from Gucci once that said, "Quality is remembered long after the price is forgotten." People always remember the feeling, the experience that they lived, through you. This is of tremendous importance, and this is something that always we need to keep in mind. And this is how we're trying our best, of course, to offer you the ability to, provide that kind of service, to your end customers. That was all in all. That was our support plans. I don't, this is, something to act as a get to knowing, the new plans. I highly recommend, reading this book, The Experience Economy, from Joseph Pine and James Gilmore. I have some information there if you'd like to copy that. And at this time, would like to open the floor to any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Kostas, for an excellent presentation and sharing such an engaging content indeed. Um, During your presentation, I was receiving uh, really interesting questions through the questions tab, as always. And since we have only, less than 5 minutes left, I'd like to share just one or two, if
Shoot
possible.
away.
Okay, so well, actually, a couple of our attendees asked the same question. They have already a partner premium support contract. So, what happens to them?
Okay. Here's the deal. I understand because they're getting worried what happens to the subscriptions that already have to those plans. As a matter of fact, if you have a partner or a customer support plan, your current plan, the current rate, is automatically upgraded to the above specs at no extra cost up until the 31st of December 2018. So for almost an entire year, for 11 months, you keep on enjoying the same price that you're paying. However, you get elevated, your level of service gets elevated to the specs that I mentioned earlier. From, of course, January 1st, 2019, you'll be given the option to continue at, of course, at the rate of those plans, or cancel your support plans, all in all. And as a matter of fact, all partners who do not currently have a premium support plan are given one. Let's say that their next ticket will be automatically elevated to a free premium ticket, so that they have an experience. They get to experience what all this is about. This advanced service.
Thank you, Kostas. In case anybody would like to learn more about the upgrade, you always our partner account managers are also available to further explain 24/7 and via email, as always. Kostas, one more question, which is actually something that I would like to understand myself too. How many tickets is a reseller allowed to open per month?
I knew that this question was going to come up.
Of
Okay,
course.
let me put it this way. Okay, in the past, as a matter of fact, we've thought, long and hard for it. So the decision was this: there is no such preset specific limit. There's not a number of, maximum number of tickets that you're allowed to submit. Arguably, you can submit, 1,000 tickets, in a month. However, having said that, this is a service everybody needs to understand, us, our partners, the customers, that this is a service that builds on the trust and the understanding and goodwill of, of all everybody involved. And it's based on honest and fair use by partners and customers alike. Now, historically, there has not been a customer or a partner who happened to open more than 12 tickets per month over the last year, of course. Okay, so that should be, you know, should this number, be exceeded, by a partner or a customer, of course, yes, we're going to help you. We're not going to cut you off, but prudence demands that we're going to contact you if you exceed that number, and perhaps get to discuss, your very specific needs. Why is it that you need, something more, than that? So all in all, shoot away. You can contact us. You can open as many tickets as you want, but of course, remember that all this is based on a fair use, a policy. So um, that was one of the questions. I also thought that I don't know, because I don't have access to the questions, Pelagia. I thought that
Uh,
people. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I think we need to just succeed for a couple of minutes at a time of our attendees because I just received a really interesting question and I think nobody should miss it during this webinar. So can I just
Sure, sure. Go ahead.
share it because um, it refers to SLAs. It says that support plans ought to have an SLA, not only on the response time, but on the resolution time as well. So what we have to share with our resellers today about that.
Okay. Here's what we mean by that, guys. As I mentioned, above, the service, particularly, the service of all we offer, builds strength and trust, as I said, on the goodwill, of both parties. Now, we honestly believe that people, our customers and partners, are by nature good people and honest people. We'd like to think that, they believe the same of us. As a result, we really cannot offer an SLA, on the resolution time. We offer an SLA on the response time. Why is that? It's practically impossible for us to predict the nature of each ticket or the special, challenges or circumstances or requirements, that a ticket may require. Nor do we often have control over these conditions. We don't know exactly what's installed on a VM of a customer. I mean, the customer went ahead and installed everything that he wanted. Now, naturally, we don't have any clue about what's installed on that server up until the time he allows us to get to work on it. So to us, it's kind of like a black box. Now, because it's a black box, occasionally we may come up with very specific configurations, very specific databases that of course may require some more time. Now, it is impossible for us to know beforehand, how much time in order to offer an SLA. Of course, it is impossible for us to know beforehand how much time it's going to take to actually resolve the problem. Okay, so yes, we would be more than happy, to put our, money where our mouth is and give you get this 20 euros back guarantee for responding on time. Responding, by the way, it's not the automated thing. Yes, thank you, the one that the system sends out. Yes, thank you, we received your ticket. I'm not talking about that. Responding is actually having a human being, one of our support engineers, um, you know log in, start working on your issue, acknowledge receipt, understand what's going on, perhaps contact you, start working on it. It's not, of course, this automated thing. So we need, as I said, if it's a critical issue, we need to do this within 30 minutes. If it's a major issue, we need to do this within 4 hours, and so on. So anybody who's, of course, acts on good faith and goodwill understand that it's impossible for us to offer, an SLA on the actual resolution of its problem.
Excellent, Costas, for the explanation. And that does actually explains our webinar title, talking about advanced partner plans and highly flexible options for our resellers. At this point, I should just thank everybody for joining. You will all receive, because I'm receiving questions about the record of this webinar. Of course, as always, you'll receive a record of the webinar and a copy of the presentation as well. So thank you, Kostas, for your time and the excellent and really interesting content today. Thank you all for joining. Talk to
Thanks,
you
everybody.
next month.
Have a great
Uh,
one.
have a great day, and the webinar is now over, so you can just close the
To go to
tab.
webinar application.
Yes.
Bye bye,
Goodbye.
everybody.